Welcome back, everybody. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for being here. I want to go over a theoretical outlook that I have on USDJPY today and why exactly I'm looking at that. So actually, I'm going to start on the higher time frame here. We're going to be looking at multiple time frames today. We're going to be talking about, all right, why I think certain elements are possible. So I'm actually going to go to the 6-hour here. So as you can see, these purple levels represent weekly levels. So I'm taking the wicks on significant weekly levels, and whenever we see the wicks at a certain place on a weekly level, that is going to represent a spot where price found a ceiling or a floor for a significant period of time. Like a wick on a weekly level is like price spent a little bit of time there in order to make that level. So what I'm ultimately looking at this, I do think there's a potential long incoming for USDJPY. So down in this area, we had a significant amount of obviously wicking down here, which was invoking seller interest. Now, apparently that wasn't enough volume. So seller interest was invoked. And for everyone that was selling right here, right, that was in FOMO, that was trying to catch the move, their stop losses were all placed further up here. So as you can see, I drew this green zone because I think this is a spot where there is significant volume right now in the market, specifically because of this. So wicked down here, and then we ultimately came down to make a lower low, and then another lower low, but this one, it was far less drastic. Okay, it was inching down this whole time. Obviously the close here is pretty different, but one thing I think is significant right here is that this was not as significant. Much smaller draw into the lower zone, and look how perfectly down onto this weekly level. Okay, so given that, this gives me the inclination that a floor might have been made right here. Okay, we've had this nice little downtrend since, what is this, November of last year, and now I think it's possible that we're going to start seeing some higher highs. So we've seen, actually these might be, yeah, this might be new highs on USDJPY. And again, this is theoretical. This is just reading the price and seeing about what's going to come of it. So with this risk to reward here, don't take this as financial advice. Obviously trade, do your own analysis, and make sure it's something that aligns with the way that you're looking at the markets. But ultimately what I'm looking to see from where we are now is a dip back into this level, and then a nice trade to the top of this range. I mean, quite honestly, if it gets to the top of this range, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw higher highs. But given this is a nice, oh my God, like 400, 500 pip move, there's a lot of pips to be taken within that. So if we see price coming down into this green zone here, which again is right where volume was taken after these wicks, then if we start seeing price action such as this, such as what I've talked about in previous videos, like if we see some sort of imbalance playing out within the candles themselves, which is like such as this here, some sort of move where we have a higher low after the significant trend is playing out, that's what I really want to see here. I want to see, in fact, let me just try to draw it. And you know, it could do any number of things, but what I'd like to see is down into this zone, then be up from here, and then down. But I don't want to. I want to see a level that doesn't close lower than whatever level that hit in right there. And if that's the case, if we see something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if we got something like here, and then to here, and then yada yada yada. Boom. Something along the lines of that. Again, this is not gospel. This is not. That's what I would like to see. That would be the clean cut move. That would be the way that if I saw that, that'd be like the ideal way to enter that. But again, the market doesn't always give us perfect price action. It doesn't always give us exactly the move that we're looking for. And the best case scenario for us as traders is to find situations where we can set ourselves up to have a great return and minimize our risk. So with that, that is the long setup that I'm looking for into, again, these prior highs. This right here where volume was taken, right around 150, 150, give or take. Now on the lower time frame here, because I'm looking for a short at this point in time, and this honestly, this was some cool price action, because if we look at these zones, so first off, I want to illustrate this right here where we saw this wicking, and this is also, you know, corresponding to this level, give or take. We do have a little bit of a zone in here. I was going to show this on the 15-minute, but it's been playing in this range for quite a while, so I don't want to have to spread out the price too much. But right in this area, we had this price gap down, and then we had, like I said, exactly that imbalance structure that I like to see, these areas, and that boosted price higher. So what that makes me think, especially given this gap low, is that this is where liquidity is. So in other words, if price were to go higher, if we were to see higher highs, we'd have to take out this zone first. This is the same zone as like I illustrated here. Down here, it's the same as this green zone that I was talking about earlier. So it's showing up on both of these time frames. What I'm looking to see, again, right here, these were excellent opportunities for a short because we had a higher high and then we had the lower high. So again, we had this imbalance move play out right here, bouncing off of this range. So these have been great opportunities for shorts. And at this point in time, what I'm looking for, and what would be, again, like my perfect play out scenario, is if this were to actually go down and retest this area where this green was, and if it were to give me that price action, that those candlesticks that I would want to see, in other words, a strike into that low area, and then something, a level that does not breach that level, I would expect to see higher highs. I would expect to see this higher zone broken. So that's essentially how I'm looking at this right now. It's pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. And again, like I said, we're going to react to how price is behaving at all of these levels. There's a number of different things that could happen at any given time. I mean, price could respect this, for instance. Price could keep above these levels specifically and not go below them. So this could end up being, you know, that low that ends up taking this. Like if it closes above here and bounces off this range, we see it go higher. And likewise, if it comes and breaks below this level and bounces off the top of it, it goes lower. We don't need to predict the price in order to be profitable. That's the point that I want to get across here. But given my thesis and what I think is logical based on how the price has been moving, I do want to see this level be taken. And I do want to see it be respected. And if that level is respected, we have an excellent long opportunity for as far as that will take us. Again, I'm using the micro time frame to watch and see what price is doing on that small time frame level, and then I'm using the macro time frame to see where volume could play out, where it could head off to. So again, things to pay attention to. We do have a weekly level right here at 147 or 148.77, excuse me. And if we breach that, if we breach that weekly level, which I'd love to see that, I'd love to see a touchdown here, a breach of this weekly level, then a retest of it, and then we're going to go to this next weekly level above if that happens, which is 151, 152, give or take. Okay, so a lot of opportunities for pips right here, and we're just going to see how it played out. So with that, I hope you're following this. I hope you learned something from this video, and I wish you happy trading. Peace out.